Alrighty, so News of the Week episode on this Thursday afternoon, and we got more retirement news as we're now near the end of the season. It feels like we have now heard more notable players that have recently announced their retirement, and another notable player that have recently announced his retirement is Brad Guzan, who have announced his retirement after 21 years of playing career, and of course, he's been spending with Atlanta United for about season now, but this, of course, will be his last year. And in the next game that he'll play, which I wonder if they're going to maybe play him in that decision day game because it's kind of like a farewell game for him. I know Jaden Hebert has been the starting goalkeeper for Atlanta, but I feel like for a farewell game like that, and especially with the way that Atlanta doesn't really have anything to play for, I think it's only fitting that he play in that game and get a proper send off as well because what a career Brad Guzan has had. And I argue his career would have been even better if he wasn't being stuck behind Tim Howard in terms of the number one goalkeeper spot. Have Tim Howard never exists as the U.S. men's national team goalkeeper, Brad Guzan would have definitely got the keys, and I would argue he would be just as good as what Tim Howard was doing his prime of his career. And obviously, we know what he has done with Atlanta United, winning an MLS Cup with the team. But obviously, everybody will remember in terms of the incredible performance that he had last year, and he was really kind of at the centerpiece in terms of why Atlanta United were able to pull off the biggest upset we've ever seen in MLS history against Inter Miami, and really just kind of not only shut down that Miami team with his incredible stonewall save, but kind of shut down Messi for the most part in that game as well. I mean, the amount of times you've denied Messi in last year's playoff, that is going to be remembered for a very, very long time. And yeah, congratulations certainly to Brett Guzan in terms of his career. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do now, whether he maybe even go into coaching as well. And there's no doubt that I might even think about doing a career video of him as well, because what a legendary career he is. A guy that definitely could be considered to be in the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame in the future as well. Now, from one big retirement news to one that is a little bit less known, unless of course you're a fan of Nashville SC, and that of course is Taylor Washington has announced his retirement after being the last original member of the pre-Nashville SC MLS team. So people forget that before Nashville went into MLS, they actually play in USL for about a season or two, and Taylor Washington was a big part of that team before they go to MLS. Now, obviously, he hasn't been getting as much minutes now that that Nashville team, of course, have gone to MLS. But the fact that he not only is the longest tenure Nashville SC player on that team, but he's pretty much the last of the team that has the connection to the previous Nashville SC team before they come to MLS. I mean, I know he's not gonna be considered anywhere near the level that Brad has had, but what a career he's been having. He's very well loved in the Nashville fan base, both on and off the pitch. As well, and certainly there will definitely be a celebration of him, knowing how long he's been with the club, and don't be surprised, he might even still be with the club in certain extent, maybe in the coaching or even in the front office role as well. Now, moving on to talk about what I mentioned earlier today when I talked about the storylines heading into decision day is what's going to happen with Logan Farrington and whether or not if his red card is going to appeal. Well, apparently I look online and Tom Bogert actually tweeted this out, and I was kind of surprised that he actually tweeted this out. I was not expecting him to announce this news as well, but apparently the MLS disciplinary committee has denied Dallas' appeal to overturn Logan Farrington red card. So obviously Dallas submit an appeal to see whether or not they can rescind the red card. The disciplinary committee says no. So indeed, they are going to be missing both Pedro Musa and Logan Farrington for that final game. And obviously, I know Dallas fans are not going to be very happy with this, and especially I look back at that play. I can understand why not only Dallas fans don't agree with the call, but certain general public in MLS don't agree with the call as well, because again, it was very hard to see when he did try to step on a Galaxy player. Did he actually step on the Tucci spot on as well, or the fact that it was kind of a bizarre situation? But at the end of the day, the disciplinary committee has spoken, and that for Dallas, this is going to be really tough for them heading into that final game. And I mentioned before in my review, it feels like that last game against the Galaxy, not only that was a huge loss for Dallas, but that just really undone all the good things that done to get into the spot. Now that they're not going to have him and also their leading goal scorer Petter Musa, and you're playing against the best team in the Western Conference that is looking to try to secure that top spot. Yeah, it's definitely looking daunting for Dallas, and we'll see whether or not if they can overcome that. Now, LAFC have signed Nathan Ordaz to a new contract extension. This is not a big surprise. Nathan Ordaz is one of the few LAFC players that came out of the academy and played for the second team and actually broke out into the first team. Not a lot of LAFC two player usually get into this team. You know, LAFC is not a team that is known for endurance, so always producing young talent, give them a chance to eventually become a regular starters in the main team. But Nathan Ordaz is one of the rare situation. He has he was very highly talented when he was in MLS Next Pro, and next thing you know, when LAFC promoted, yeah, they definitely got a gem of a player and a player that no doubt could be sold for a huge amount of money, and a guy that seems like is, from what I also heard from the El Salvadorian fans, one of the rare bright spot about that team, and really the only guy that can actually they show the quality and guide the team into to what has been kind of a dark period that El Salvador once again suffered in the national team. Now, one thing I will say about Nathan Ordaz, he will definitely have to need to get his maturity issue sorted out a little bit. We have seen at times that he has kind of been a little bit of a loose cannon at games and getting sent off as well. That's going to be something that I think he'll need to try to address, and that would definitely be addressed, especially you're gonna have that happen to a young player like him, and we'll see whether or not if he can, of course, do that as he continue his career. Now, there is a report suggesting that Botafogo is actually disputing the unpaid $21 million fee for Thiago Almada to Atlanta United. So to this day, I don't think Atlanta still have got the full amount of transfer that they of course got for Thiago Almada after they send him to Botafogo, and eventually I think now Amada is with Leon, if I'm not mistaken, or is he still? I think he's still with Botafogo. I think there was a deal that he was going to be going there, and then he's going to go to Leon. And obviously, one of the things, if you know about Botafogo and yeah, their owner John Texting, he is one of the most hated men right now in the world of soccer. Like of all, a lot of hated owners in the world of soccer or football, as the European says. He's definitely one of them. He is not very well loved, and Botafogo has become a team that is very hated because of the fact that John Texay is at the center in terms of part of this multi-ownership group that he has, and yeah, not a big surprise that of course is the case. And I also won't be surprised. No MLS team will try to do business again, because yeah, when you're trying to do business against a team that has a very shady owner and has a very bad reputation, yeah, it's no surprise that this of course have started to drag on, and we'll see whether or not if eventually Atlanta will get that fee. I'm assuming they eventually will get it. FIFA will try to sort this out eventually. The fact that they will, of course, equal the same. They will get the amount that they, of course, got when they decided to sell Thiago Almada to Botafogo. I mean, it's unfortunate that they didn't realize that this was going to be a situation, and they also don't realize that John Texia would become one of the most hated man right now in the world of football. Now, moving on. So a couple of teams that have announced that it's going to be expanded into MLS Next Pro, starting off with CT United, a Connecticut-based team, a Bridgeport, Connecticut-based team is set to make their debut heading into next season. Now, what's interesting is that they don't actually have a stadium built yet. They are working on building that stadium, but for now, it will be very interesting to see where exactly they're going to be playing. I wouldn't be surprised. They would just play all around Connecticut, because if you're going to name yourself now CTT United, you might as well just play all around Connecticut. Maybe play in Hartford a couple of games. Maybe even play in Bridgeport or even in Stamford as well. I mean, that only kind of makes sense that if that is the case, and obviously with them coming into the league, that is now the third independent club that is coming into MLS Next Pro. Now, when it comes to independent club in MLS Next Pro, it hasn't really worked out so well. So I'm gonna be very interested to see whether or not if this, of course, would work out. And especially, I feel like we're now getting more independent club going to MLS Next Pro, because I feel like MLS Next Pro is having a war with the USL championship, and that we all talk about this kind of kind of cold war that is going on with MLS versus USL. How both of these entities really hated each other right now, and especially with the USL launching the the new League One or the first division that's going to come up, and then the promotion and relegation. It will be very interesting to see how the civil war and this whole war between MLS and USL is going to be in the next couple of years. Now, speaking of independent club that's coming to MLS Next Pro, another team that it looks like is going to be coming very soon is going to be Long Island. So this is a team that is going to be playing out of Unionville, which is where the New York Islander used to play in their old arena. Now that stadium is also pretty close to where the Nassau Coliseum is going to be. And again, we'll see how this, of course, would work out. We'll see how both of these team will do, and especially now that I've heard that it's not just these two teams that is looking to go to MLS Next Pro. There's a couple more teams I've heard rumors that is potentially coming to MLS Next Pro. Grand Rapids is definitely one of the teams that I've heard that is going, and then of course where I live here in the Bay Area, looks like we might have Golden City FC going to be coming into MLS Next Pro and playing in a remodeled Kezar Stadium in the future as well. Now, is not just MLS Next Pro that has had some announcement in terms of expansion. USL also have announced a couple of expansion as well, because why not? Of course, as I mentioned, it is a cold war right now between both of these leagues. It feels like when they saw one league decide to expand a couple clubs, the other leagues got to follow the same suit. And one of the thing that is great to see is the fact that Reno is finally going to get themselves back a USL championship side. And I've only been to one Reno 1868 game, I believe they feature in my Sports Talk series all the way back a couple of years ago. It's a shame the fact that the club eventually dissolved. I think a big part of it is they just couldn't get that stadium deal done, and also it wasn't really the most supported team in the Reno area. I heard like people say like in Reno they didn't even realize there was a soccer team in their city. But now it seems like they're gonna get a second chance, and this time they're actually not gonna be playing at that minor league stadium that the Reno Ace is playing. They're actually committed to build a new 6,000 seat new stadium, and from what I look, it looks a beautiful stadium. I can't wait to visit it if I get a chance to do so. But yeah, great to see that Reno is going to get a team back. I think that is an area that I feel like deserve to have a second chance in terms of the USL Championship side, and even in the Central Valley area as well. I feel like that's another area that I feel like deserve a second chance of a USL Championship side. Now, whether or not this new Reno team is going to name 1868 like the last one, who knows? We'll see whether if it's going to be a complete different name, or they'll just adapt to the old 1868 name. Which again, if they do adapt it, I mean, I have heard some mixed reaction to it. Some people like the fact that they're going back to the original route, but at the same time, some people say that it feels like they need a fresh start, because the previous club, yeah, I mean, it was not only it wasn't doing very well, but it just really never attracted the fans. And if you decide to keep that name, I mean, that's not really gonna help attract the general public in Reno to support the team. Now, USL League One is also expected to expand to Port Lucia starting in 2027. Now, I wonder if this is going to be the same group that decided to put a team there instead of a team in West Palm Beach. I have heard that they were going to be putting a team in West Palm Beach, but ever since that, it's gone really quiet. It's kind of gone radio silence, and I wonder if this is the same group that decided to move on from that and decided to put a team in Port Lucia. I say that because when you look at where both of those areas are, they're pretty close to each other. Maybe it's the same group that decided, well, if West Palm Beach doesn't work, we'll just keep going a little north up to the Treasure Coast in Florida and make it work. And it seems like they are going to make this work. And yeah, another USL League One team is expanded. Again, the USL League One, it's going to be expanded relatively quick, to a point where we might see about 20 plus team. We might see almost a similar size of USL Championship side as we seen in League One, and this is all a preparation with the whole promotion and relegation thing that USL looks like they're going to potentially do in the near future. And then lastly, the Coachella Valley Invitational, a preseason tournament, is going to be returning in February 2026. Now, the reason why I want to mention this preseason tournament, I actually went to this, I think back in 2024 or 2023 went to. I had a lot of fun in terms of it. The only thing I didn't have a lot of fun is seeing the Loons get absolutely destroyed by go in that game. But I did see a wonderful free kick by Xherdan Shaqiri, and I was able to see it in the front, almost right on the touchline, because where this tournament is played, it's basically playing like a little soccer complex, although it's not really a soccer complex. It's more of where they have the Coachella festival, but they just kind of use that as a soccer complex as well, kind of a makeshift complex that is. But I do recommend people to go there, especially if you live in the East Coast or live in a cold weather city. Why not have a chance to see your favorite MLS team play in such a sunny weather like that? Because when I went there, it was like 70 degrees. It was sunny. It was a beautiful full kind of display, and I also met a couple of Minnesota fans over there as well. They were definitely very happy to be at that area compared to being back home when it was like -10 in the Twin City the area. So yeah, I'm thinking of maybe going to there in February 2026. Although next year there's a lot of plans that I have next year, especially when that World Cup is going to come. For those that wondered, did I was able to get World Cup ticket? The answer is unfortunately no. I wasn't able to be successful in terms of the first draw, so I'll just go and see if I can get it in terms of the second round as well and keep going as well. Well, I mean, right now when it comes to the ticketing of the World Cup, there's a lot of controversy surrounding that, and there's a lot of frustration that is going on, especially with the high tickets prices that is, and it's understandable. I mean, I think that the tickets for this upcoming World Cup, I mean, I knew it was going to be expensive, but even looking at the price that is, it just kind of shows you once again the biggest problem with FIFA and why some people say it's such a corrupt organization, because they're just using this to take advantage of the American market. I mean, part of that it's that, but it's also kind of unfortunate. That's just kind of how the American sports culture is, and also the American sports market, where I know as much as I want to see affordable ticket prices, you're not gonna see that in the American sports market. We're getting to a point where, because the secondary market is so dominant, you're going to see a lot of people just kind of buy the tickets and they're gonna sell for a huge amount of money, and I feel like it's going to be the same case again. Do not be surprised in terms of the amount that FIFA decided to release in terms of how much it costs to attend those games. Do not be surprised it's going to be 2 or 3 times by the time you get a chance to go to the resale market, because that's just kind of how it is. It's an unfortunate situation, and that, yeah, again, I would love to attend a couple World Cup games, but again, I gotta look into my budget in terms of what I can go and what I can't do, because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that maybe I'm not gonna go to the World Cup final, because I know the tickets for the World Cup final, it's just incredibly expensive. Like it's just ridiculously expensive to a point where it's probably not even when worth it. You probably might be able to go to another World Cup final that is going to be at least 4 or 5 times less than the amount is going to be. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this News of the Week episode, and if there's any news I didn't mention here on the board, let me know in the comments below as always. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.